Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Some of you have been noticing Matt's E36 M3 in the background of some of our videos and been asking some questions about it. Now, the car is in pretty good condition, but it's not without its problems. It needs a bit of TLC, has a little bit of rust, but the main problem with the car, if we come around the back, is this. So Matt had just literally did this car to a level where he thought it was ready for a track day. We fitted the super sprint manifolds, he'd done the bushes, bits of the suspension. And when he went on the track day, he tried to keep up on his friend in a Cayman S, and at Snetterton, he ran out of talent. So the moral of the story is when you go on your first track day, in your first time you're going in your newly bought car, take it easy and drive well within your limits. But that does give Matt an opportunity to do something he's been wanting to do for a while, and that is to make an E36 M3 Touring. So we are going to do that as a project here at Evolve. It is Matt's project, so not Evolve's project, so please don't give him some ridiculous ideas about what to put on the car. But if you're a manufacturer and you're interested in helping sponsor Matt for this project, please do so. We will be covering this on our channel as we're going through, so you'll see the car turn from this into an E36 M3 Touring. We do have the E36 base car that's going to help make that inside, so Matt's going to show you around that, and hopefully stay in tune with the channel and we can show you the whole process from this to the completed E36 M3 Touring.
Okay, so we've got my M3 on the lift. It's time to take a look at damage and see where we're at with what we can swap over, what needs to be replaced. Now, yes, it was just driver error essentially. When I pulled it off the track, I was a little worried that I thought, obviously big impact on the back, straight into a bumper. I was a little worried there was kind of fluid coming down the back, and I thought it might be the diff was cracked, because obviously big shunt and it's come into contact here, but got it back to the workshop and it actually doesn't look like it's touched. It's incredibly close and the diff seems perfectly fine, and it actually ended up being just a bottle of spare oil that had burst in the boot, which is pretty lucky when I really think about it, because I wasn't looking forward to having to replace a diff. Now unfortunately, I'm sorry Federico, I know you sometimes watch our videos, but my beautiful Super Sprint is all mangled. Take a look, the rear section is pretty toast with big bend there. We come along. I don't think these bends are right either. I am just hoping the manifolds are going to be okay, because I can't really afford to be replacing those manifolds, but I will be getting another Super Sprint. It was a really good system, I really liked it, and it's the only really choice for me. I think it just suits the car. Okay, so back at the back, seems like diff is okay, as I said. Rear subframe, until we get it off we won't see if it's cracked, but I'm hoping it's okay. Rear suspension's going to get replaced, not too sure what with at the moment. Rear control arms, all that kind of stuff, everything's going to come off, be powder coated, bushes replaced, that kind of stuff, but it seems like it's okay. Hopefully, can't see it, but the drive shaft is okay, and the gearbox, need to take a look at that, is all a bit oily, did have a few leaks, which I was planning to do, which obviously I will do now. And then engine, like I said, as long as can't really see the manifolds up there. As long as these manifolds are okay, I think the rest should be okay. I did turn it off pretty quickly afterwards, and I haven't really run it since. It does run, but I didn't want to risk in case anything was wrong with it. But I don't think there is. Front wise, obviously, didn't really get any damage at the front, which I'm really thankful for in the long run. Obviously, I'd rather have not crashed it, but I'm much happier with the fact that I didn't go front in, not only for the car, but also I think it would have been a bit more painful. Not that this wasn't painful, basically. So yeah, the show itself, I wasn't too upset with, because obviously I am gutted because it was my pride and joy. This was the car I really wanted to own, kind of thing. But that's going to focus, come on. God, this is hard work, I'll tell you that. It's pretty rusty, this shell, to be honest. It was going to need quite a bit of work, which I was already thinking about. So you can see jacking points were all getting pretty crusty, and I was starting to find big rust holes up in here. You can see all that. That was all going to have to be cut out, replaced. A lot of work was going to have to go into this, so whilst I still would rather if it hadn't happened, I would have had to have spent quite a bit on this at some point to kind of keep it on the road. So, you know, swings and roundabouts is what it is, all that kind of stuff. Got some lovely damage there. I think that's the corner that went straight in. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Obviously I'm going to strip it all apart in probably the next video and get ready to refurbish it, clean everything up, powder coat, new parts. I want to change all the perishables, that kind of stuff, because this car is, what is it, 23, 24 years old. We get the engine out, get it on a stand. We did do the rod bearing change last year, but I didn't do things like the oil pump gear, so I'll do that, all new kind of bits there, all new suspension bits, and we'll kind of see where we're going. So overall, yeah, I'm gutted. This was my pride and joy. I had some good memories in this car, and I felt like I was only really just getting started with making it my own, but you know, oh well, I'm looking forward to the project. So next we're going to do is we'll take a look around the touring shell that I've picked up, and that's going to be the base for the swap. Okay, so this is it. This is the base car for the project. It is, I think it's a 1997 again, E36 323i Touring. Now, yeah, it looks a bit rough, a little bit basic kind of thing, but the one reason, well, two reasons for this car, choosing this base car, is one, that even though it's got about, I think it's 130,000 miles, it's actually incredibly solid considering. I don't think it's really had much work done to it as well. And the other reason is that it's British Racing Green, an individual colour, which was found on kind of like the M3 GT Special Edition and things like that. And it's a bit of an odd one for it to be custom ordered in an individual colour with pretty much no other options, which I'm not sure who originally spec'd it, but I'm kind of glad they did, because now I have it. And okay, it's dirty, it definitely is like a machine polish kind of thing, so the colour isn't looking its best, I'll admit. It looks a bit horrible, but I'll chuck some pictures in of a guy who's built one. I think he's in Poland. I might be wrong on that, I'm sorry if I am. So there's another British Racing Green Touring, and he's done that up. I don't believe it's M3 swapped, but it's got the full M Sport kit on and stuff, and that looks really great. So that's kind of the rough idea I'm going for. So yeah, this is the base car. It's obviously not that exciting to look at. It's not perfect. It is going to need, unfortunately, a full respray, but the fact it doesn't need much welding is really the important thing. So it kind of needs, it's had a bad wing put on it at some point, so I'll get a replacement wing. It's just, you know, it's just like it's being keyed. Either someone's just run it up against something or vice versa kind of thing, but this is it. This is where I'm starting, and this is what will form the base of my E36 M3 Touring. It's going to go through a bit of a change, but I think pretty much it's a good base. Take a look at little things like the tailgate, considering how badly these do rust. This one is pretty good. It's got a little bit there, little bubble there, but overall, you know, the arches we might have seen on the M3, just they'd have been poorly repaired, but these ones look like they've never been touched. Just little starting bubble, but way better than what could have been. Having another, give you the full angles, give you the full experience of this. I know this is going to be one of the more impressive cars that I filmed for you guys. Let's have a quick look in the interior, which, let's ignore that M3 in the background, no one wants to see that. Thankfully, it's black interior. For people who know me, I spent way too long making the interior on the M3 completely black after it was partially swapped, so I don't have to go through all that ordeal again. But yeah, just base seats, cloth, that will all get changed over, that kind of stuff. I'm going to take a quick look in the engine bay. Okay, got that lovely badge. You can see bonnet's looking tired. It's all looking pretty faded and needs some love, but I think underneath there's some good stuff. And there it is, just a bog standard 323 auto, ready to be pulled out and have pretty much everything swapped over. So effectively it is an M3, other than on the logbook, which some losers will check and tell me it's not an M3, but obviously I'll be out hopefully driving this, and they'll be spending their free time checking registrations to see what it's registered as, which pretty sad. Okay, so that's the intro to this project. Obviously I would have rather we got off together on a better foot than me crashing what was my pride of joy, kind of, you know, I worked at an M car specialist and now I had an M car kind of thing. That was a bit of a dream, but here we are. You know, it's what it is and it ain't what it ain't, as I always say. So like Imran said, this isn't going to be an evolved project. This is personally my project, so we don't have the endless budgets. We're not doing big engine builds or any of that kind of stuff. It's just going to be something that I've always wanted to do. One project. I've always thought, you know, I've probably got one big project in me kind of thing. I'd like to say I'm not going to end up spending all my money on cars kind of in the future, but you never know. So this is going to be it. I just want to go through anything I take off. I want it all to be clean, new, plated, that kind of stuff, and just make something that's really nice and that I can use for road trips, take to shows when we can, and that kind of thing. Just have some good times and probably not take it on track. So this is the first time doing kind of a more vlog style thing. First time for me in front of the camera rather than behind it as I normally am. So I'm going to try and keep it not too vlog style. I'm not a huge fan of the vlog style stuff, which is probably kind of why our stuff looks the way it does. But I'll try and bring you guys along for the process, do some time lapses, that kind of stuff. You know, show me struggling to do stuff, show Aston and Hash just doing it perfectly fine because they're actually technicians, whereas I'm just a guy with a camera that puts videos together for a living. But that's it. I'm going to leave this here. As I said, next episode will probably be stripping the M3 apart. Quite how far I'll go, I'm not sure, but that'll be the next step. Get that all apart, start getting it clean, start getting it ready to put into this Touring. So cheers for watching, guys, and thanks to everyone who puts nice comments below, and to everyone who rips my driving. Yeah, I probably do deserve it.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you'd like to watch more of this project, you can do so over here. If you'd like to watch what YouTube suggests you might like from our other videos, you can watch that over here. If you like this video, please click on the thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. If you guys have any questions, please drop them in the comment section and we'll do our best to answer them for you.